I feel like I keep coming on here and saying the same thing, but it so is true. It's the supply and demand, the economics 101. There is so much demand for our city, and I think in real estate in general, but let's focus on San Diego. And we just don't have the supply to keep up with it. Right now, we have about 3,400 active homes. And to give you reference, when we were low in 2022, we had about 5,600. And it just doesn't make sense. Our interest rates are higher. The prices are higher. People are trying to figure out how they can fit in. And I see a lot of people getting discouraged, but there are so many different ways.
Well, we'll get to those. But Kara, it seems like part of the problem is you're not only now just competing against other home buyers, you're competing against people with investment prospects, and that's their objective. I guess investment buyers, they're going to turn your house into basically a hotel.
Absolutely. And I represent both. I really do represent end users. People are going to be, assets to the neighborhood, live there. And I also do represent a lot of investment buyers. And it goes both ways. We do have a city that's put a limit on how many Airbnbs and short-term rentals can happen, but we still have a lot of Tier 3 licenses left, which means our beach towns will get more saturated with Airbnbs, making it just a little bit tougher for the people who actually want to buy and live there.
But those investment folks seem to have deeper pockets, so they can always outbid you. It seems, or at least what I'm experiencing in my neighborhood.
I think you're right, and we have to look at the generational wealth transfer that's set to happen and has been happening. By the year 2045, there's going to be about $72 trillion transferring from baby boomers to millennials, Gen X. I'm not one of them. Gen Z, sorry. I'm not one of them, but it just goes to show you that there are people with deep pockets and a lot of cash, and if they're not buying for themselves, they're helping their kids.
All right, so I'm that first-time home buyer. I'm going to be in California for a while, and it's a struggle. Besides calling you, what's my next tip?
Yeah, I'll be the perfect example. I don't talk a lot about what I did, but since I didn't have any tools, I worked a lot. I saved a lot. I saved $27,000 to buy a one-bedroom condo. Buy a studio in an upcoming neighborhood. That's going to be your ticket to the next step up. I think people get so wrapped up in, I need to save until I get that 3-bed, 2-bath, detached home in a great neighborhood. So few people can afford that right now, even if you do have cash. So get in where you can, and at least you're going to be able to collect that equity when interest rates drop. You get even more equity. If you just look at the supply and demand, you can't go wrong. And I know a lot of people are wondering, when is it going to burst? When's it going to give? I can't see it. I know we couldn't see it in 2008 either, but it's just, all signs are pointing to the good news is that it's going to continue to go up. So if you can get in where you fit in, at least you're going to be able to have a chance to collect equity.
So I'm hearing get on the conveyor belt, even if it's in a less than desirable location, just get into the game.
Don't focus so much on the ultimate goal. Get in where you can. Make the monthly payments make sense. You can use the Zillow mortgage calculator online. You can get in touch with a lender, a realtor, however you want to do it. Get savvy, adjust your expectations. I'm not saying lower them, but get realistic and just don't overthink it and don't keep waiting, because that's, I think, the worst thing you could do.
We're always hearing about this exodus from California. How is that factoring into this equation?
I always say as many people are leaving, they are coming, whether they're coming back because they tried out Texas and they're not into it. There's still a ton of demand for being in the state, but you're right, there are a lot of people leaving for tax reasons, for many other reasons in general, but I think as many people who are leaving, there are still just as many who are waiting to fill the
The only thing I would say to that, if you're going to leave, make sure you're leaving, that you're ready not to come back.
It's tough to come back.
Yeah.
It's really difficult.
From the tax, the tax hit you're going to take.
Yep.
Kara, thank you so much. I know you're working hard, so we appreciate you making time for us here at KUSI.